Tēnā koutou e te iwi, no mai hoki mai anō kia Tapatahi. Welcome to the program. I'm Billy Jo Hoheparopiha. Coming up, National MP Alfred Ngaro and Māori lawyer Moana Jackson on the controversial COVID-19 Public Health Response Act, which gives police sweeping powers to enforce pandemic restrictions. We also look at what's in store for Māori business ahead of the budget announcement, and we talk to a second language learner who raps in Māori. But
can't beat that feeling of, performing kanohi ki te kanohi, like actually seeing people's reactions, in person, and like hearing the crowd is weird. Like once you finish a song on a live stream, you don't hear applause of woo, go day. You don't hear none of that. It's just there's maybe just some clapping emojis in there.
But first, here's Piata Melbourne with the news.
Tēnā koe Billy Jo, kai nā ka rangatanga maha o te motu whānui nā mihi o te ata. Kua timata te taumata o hiti tuarua, kua tuwhera te haere a motu māruna wakarererangi me te whakatuwhera anō i te nuinga o ngā Pakehi o Aotearoa. Kua tuwhera anō ngā whare kai, whare pikitia, whare pakari tinana, heoi kai raro i ngā tikana haumaru, ko te takau noi ho ngā tāngata ka tae te haere ki ngā mārena, karakia hui a whānau. Engari kua piki ake te tangihanga ki te rima te kau. Hei te wiki e tū mai nei ka timata nā kura, hei te rua te kau mātahi ka tuwhera nā pāpara kauta. E tātā nā hone harawira i ngā mema pāremata Māori, he kore nō rātau i wero i te pire hauara tūmata whānui hou e whakatere ana ki pāremata. Mā te pire ea hei aina pire himana te urutoma atu i ngā kāinga, ka hore he pepa whakae. I ngā rangitata nei i mana tāna pirihimana urutoma pokano atu i ngā marae. He oe inanahi nei tango hiae te kupu marae, he kaha no te whakahe a ngai Māori. Hei tā harawira, ka hore e mātua i tēnā.
Me he mea ka tango ake mātou i te CDM Act, me he mea ka tango ake mātou i te ture hauora, ka pēhea nei tātou e tiaki nei a tātou. Koina te tikanga o tēnei pire.
Ka tae a tauiwi, te haere kotahi rau te haere kia haurangi haere, engari mō ngai Māori, te hoki mai ki tōku marae mo te tagianga. Ko te kau noiho, ara tērā i te tiaki. He takahi tērā.
Kua whakatangatanga hia e te kāwanatana, tāna here tangihana te kau tāngata, kia rima te kau i te taumata tuarua. Ka whai tēnei panonitanga i tētahi hui me ngā minita Māori, ngā rangatira a iwi anō hoki i matapaki hia e te matatika o ngā here.
Whakaitia, kia puare o mātou marae, ki ngā tangihanga, mo te rā nehu noe. Ka karanga hia, ka whai kōrero hia, ka waieta hia, ka karakia hia, ka tahi, ka haria ki te urupa.
No te tūrei noi honei rewa i te pire hauora hou ki pāremata. I eke ki tōna pānuitanga tuatoru i nanahi nei. Nei a te mahemi me tēnei pūrongo mai te whare pāremata.
E tipu ana ngā kōrero taunu a ngai Māori i te pire oranga whānui.
Mea te kawa me te tikanga e āngai ana ki te ora. Engari, kei te oe nei mai te kāwanatanga, ko rātou ke ngā kai pupuri i te mōiotanga mo te ora.
Kei te mōrika Alfred Ngaro o Nahinara i te tere o te kāwanatanga ki te whakature i te pire nei.
They were asked for advice. They gave them an explicit plan and described the things that they would change in tikanga, in kaua, for instance, in particular. They had accommodated for those things.
E tau toko ana te kaiarihi takirua o Aotearoa tuatahi a Shane Jones i te pire, ko tāna e here ai te Māori ki ngā taha katoa o te take nei.
The thing that does bother me is once we have a tangi event in an isolated place like north of Kaitaia, people will have travelled a long way. Majority of the tribe probably live in Auckland, and policing such a small group of people, I'd be very, very worried that our Māori policemen are placed in an impossible situation.
Ko te kaitū tohe i te pūtake o ngā uru tomotanga whenua o tūhoi i te tau 2007, ko tame iti tērā e wahāna i ona mā harahara mo te pire hauora me te mana whakau here ka riro i te hunga pirihimana.
Ki tōku whakaaro ke tiupato tātai ki nei tērā. Pēnā e rua tau i te āhua tano o te noho tēnei ture, ke tikuna te mana ki te ture. Rātau te haere pokanoaho i rote i nā iru nei nā marae i nā kāina. karau te tino rata ki tērā.
Nā, ko tame iti tērā. Kua whakai te kāwanatanga kia koke whakamua nā hākina kina whai utu, kai raro ina tikana haumaru. Ko nā tākoroa katoa ka tū ki roto o tāmaki makaurau mō ngā wiki tekau. I tautoko a poitara whiti Aotearoa i te whakaaro kia kotahi te wāhi tākoro hei whakamāmāke i te aronga ki ngā ture haumaru. Nā ka tū nā tākoro mai te paraere ki te mane. A kāti koe nā tāte ao Māori mō tēnei wā, kia hoki anō tātou kia Billy Joe Hōhepa Rōpia.
Kia ora. The government and police have been granted sweeping powers to enforce pandemic restrictions. The COVID-19 Public Health Response Act was passed under urgency last night. The updated legislation removes references to police being able to enter marae without a warrant and a requirement that only police operate roadblocks. One of its critics was National MP Alfred Ngaro, who joins me now. Kia ora, Alfred.
Kia ora, Billy Joe.
Kia ora. It was passed 63 votes to 57 last night. National and ACT did not support the bill. Why?
It's really clear. If I talk in particular, that my concern was that, we had an exposure draft given to Te Rupu Whakakaupapa i Uruka, which is a number of Māori experts in particular fields of health and also too of law, and they were quite explicit. The information that they gave and the submission was that there was no general treaty clause or any obligation to have regard to its principles, no reference point in order to make those decisions as well. And so hence the reasons why marae was just factored in there. Now, they've come out with an SOP, and that was just a tidying up. In other words, it's just to appease the concern that was raised by the community in this regard. If they had got that right in the first place, then we wouldn't have the situation that we were in.
So essentially, what's gone wrong here? Have they got the right Māori advisors within their group advising them?
Look, I made this in my third reading speech. I declared the fact that the truth is, and I made this to the House of Parliament, we've all got blood in our hands. Our history and our heritage has shown we have not got the kawanata, and so we've used a word partnership, which is all about equity, and when we do that, actually has a different interpretation. In my view, kawanata is a covenant. That means it's a tapu, a sacred relationship, and we've not treated that right, both in the past and even in the present. And so what we do is that we have these little tidy-ups where we say what will accommodate for that. We'll remove marae, but there's still a reference to that in the finer detail, so they can still, without a warrant, police can enter into private dwellings and also into marae and churches and other places. So right from the start, you can have as many advisors that you can, but I think it's important that if we're going to do things right, we need to go back to first principles, and that right at the outset, that when we have regard to honouring this covenant relationship, then when we look at the laws that we make in the land, then that should be embedded. You shouldn't have to keep asking for it every single time.
That's right. The references to private dwelling house or marae are they've been replaced with a term specified private premises. But that does little to change the intent of the law, doesn't it?
Well, that's correct. And, when you think about, for instance, you just had a clip and talking about with tangihana, Māori had actually accommodated so much in their tikanga, in their kawa around that. And again, because there was no reference point going back to the understanding of mana motahaki around their self-determination, which is, again, all of those principles of a covenant relationship, there's no trust. It goes back to two simple things. There's a lack of trust and a lack of confidence. When they come to the party and say, look, trust us, we can organise this. But at the moment, we have more trust in a publican of a bar, in a gym owner, and also too of a supermarket, and even the school teachers. We can't trust our own people. Now, that doesn't mean we don't always get it right, but that's not the point. The point is that you always start off on the first principle of trust.
Calvin Davis said removing references to marae would mean less protection for marae. What do you think he meant by that?
To be honest, that was a bit vague. I couldn't understand what he was trying to reference that. And again, it was a speech that was trying to accommodate for the fact is that the concern that was heard by Māori, by leadership that were there. And even I didn't, and many of us sort of were none the wiser when he made that comment.
Is that just a cop-out? Is he just saving face?
Oh, look, I mean, I'm not going to make a judgment on a person's character. You know, everyone's going to have to be accountable for the words that they say. All I want to say is that I didn't have any confidence in what he was declaring because, again, I go back to first principles. You know, the first recommendation that was made, you know, by the advice and exposure draft, you know, was really clear. If there's no reference point, then you can't be obliged or upheld up to that confidence. And that's the first point that was made. Everything else after that doesn't count. You can turn around, you can shift the deck chairs, you can put the words in another place, but if you don't have a covenant relationship that then declares about how that relationship works, then nothing else matters.
Yeah. What's your view of the government's handling of tangihanga under Alert Level 2?
Disappointing. I mean, what's the difference between 150? You know, I don't understand that. It's like a halfway place. But again, why did we have to get to that point where people had to speak out so strongly to try and challenge that? You know, and we're not only talking about that, but now churches and now places of worship. You know, again, it comes down to this thing. You know, fear is a powerful stimulant. You know, in the wrong hands, you know, is used to coerce and manipulate people, rather than being able to guard and protect us. And I think the fact is that they've used this thing around the pandemic to give fear into our people, rather than saying, actually, you know, we trust you. Let's put in place what we think is really important. And around the tangihanga, again, you know, funeral directors, you know, that's their role of responsibility to look after our people during that time of mourning, and they're just not willing to trust that they would do that. And you know, we're losing our humanity in this.
Absolutely. Because if you think about it, you know, we've been through this before, excuse me, and we understand, you know, the rates of diseases and what they can, you know, and viruses, what they can do to our people. So we would, you know, respect that. Now, Te Whanua Apanui says they will hold tangihanga for 100 people. Brian Tamaki says he's not going to limit the number of people at his church service this Sunday. What do you suppose the police will do?
Well, you see, this is what happens when you don't have that relationship of trust. You know, you're not working with people. All you're doing is that rather than being aspirational, you know, what you want to do is that you sit with your community and then work out a plan. Everyone understood and respected the rule of law when it was level 4 and when it was level 3. Now we're going to the point of level 2. People have put an effort into trying to work out a solution. Like I said, the funeral directors, people got together and said they put their submissions through on the exposure draft of what they should do. And now you're having people that are, I suppose, taking the law into their own hands and saying, well, now, hang on, you're now breaching our civil liberties, our rights and our freedom to make a choice. And because you haven't trusted that, I suppose people are making their own decisions. Whether it's right or wrong, I mean, that's another thing to be said, and whether that's the right way to go about it. But this is what happens. This is the outcome when you don't go through a proper process and you trust the people in whom you're actually engaging with.
So rush through too fast, too quickly?
Oh, look, we understand what urgency is. I mean, that happened in Christchurch yesterday, 2011. But you see, the point of difference with this piece of legislation is the fact is that it gives too many, extraordinary powers to the police in particular, without warrant and only with a suspicion, to go into premises and into places. Now, that's never been done before. Now, we've already got laws that are actually around the national emergency that gives certain powers, but in this regard, we're in level 2. There's no pandemic warning. It's only in the fear that we could have another outbreak. But again, fear is meant to be something that gives us a sense of warning. It's not a motivation to inspire us to do the right thing. And again, that's why I think that they've rushed this through. They've got it wrong. They haven't listened, and they're making mistakes.
Is this just another step of not trusting Māori?
Yeah, look, you know, Billy Joe, I said in the House yesterday, we've all got blood in our hands. We've all got guilt in our hearts. I don't want to. This is not about whether it's pointing the finger. This thing's not colour-coded to any political party. Because, you know, the truth is that I held the Hansards of 1881 in Parliament yesterday. You know, we know what that is. On the 5th of November, Parihaka was a shame, you know, and there's guilt on this nation because of that, you know. And so where are we now? We're in 2020, and we're making the same mistakes, you know. We're not honouring this covenant relationship. And some people said to me, well, hang on, you're talking a lot about Māori. But you see, I said yesterday that if we don't get this one relationship right, then we don't get the others right. And so here are the mistakes. We're not trusting people who are in churches. We're not trusting people who are actually going about their law-abiding ways. And now we're getting to a point where we're creating a police state. We're out of fear. We're now going to have the powers to police without warrant to go into your house or my whare or any other person's marae or home or church, right, out of suspicion, to be able to, again, breach what they think actually people have broken laws. And again, that's not right. And we shouldn't be settling for that. And that's the reasons why, we oppose that.
Kia ora, Alfred. That was Alfred Ngaro, National Party MP. Kia ora. Well, we welcome your thoughts on today's program. Post your feedback on our Facebook page or send us an email, tapatahi@māoritelevision.com. Kia utonu mai. Bosun Paki is the owner-operator of the Tasty Pastry Company in East Tamaki. He's no stranger to helping others. A few years ago, he received a Good Bloke Award for going the extra mile to help others by donating baked goods to needy whānau in South Auckland. Like other business owners, Bosun is hoping today's budget announcement will offer some relief. Kia ora, Bosun.
Kia ora.
So what government support have you received so far to stay afloat?
So we received the wage subsidy. So we've got that. It's actually been a real big help, just so I can keep most of my staff on. So I haven't had to let any staff go, which has been good. And there's been a couple of the older staff that have had time off as well. I've been able to keep them on as well.
So how many staff do you have? And do you just have one premises?
Yeah, just one premises. It's actually just around the corner from Māori TV, so in East Tamaki. We've got 17 staff, ranging in ages and ethnicities. I like to call it my fruit bowl because there's so many different nationalities.
So what was the biggest challenge you had to overcome during lockdown?
Oh, the stress to start off with, because it's the unknown. Yeah. So you don't know what's going to happen. So everyone's sort of in a holding pattern. And like for the first 2 weeks, it was quite stressful because you didn't know what was going on. And I was pretty fortunate to stay open because I was essential because I was supplying the supermarket. So I was pretty lucky.
So have you had to go on any apps? Are you using anything to help your business so that you kind of get that whole click and collect service?
Well, we do all the deliveries ourselves. So we had to sort out a new system of having social distancing. So I designed a plan within the factory. It's to create distance. So with the chillers, for instance, there was a 1 in 1 out policy, and we sort of just designed it ourselves. MPI came in, did the audit, and they were quite impressed. But yeah, they were sort of running on empty as well because they sort of didn't know what was going on either. You know, it's been really, really strange because no one knows what's going on. And they're sort of making it up as they go along.
Has COVID-19 opened up any opportunities, or has it kind of been more doom and gloom?
Well, my theory's always been adapt or die, pretty much. So we've sort of had to change a few things, pretty much. But I'm actually finding things out of this, which is going to make my business a lot stronger coming up. So we've changed a few things, like cut a few lines, increased production in the ones we sell more of. So it's actually been a blessing in disguise, if you could say that. It's been quite good, but still stressful as buggery. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I understand some of your bakers haven't been able to work due to age restrictions. Has that made things difficult?
Yeah, it has actually. And I've sort of been a little bit concerned because a couple of the staff members are over 70 and that's some of my key staff members. And I sort of went around and checked on them a couple of times because I was more, they loved their job, and I was more concerned about their mental health more than anything else. So I went and checked on them once or twice. You know, they'd ring me. But yeah, it's good to finally be able to get them back soon.
Yeah, and just for clarity, when we talk about age restrictions, we're talking about an older workforce as opposed to younger. You haven't got your kids working there, have you?
No, no, they're too young.
Although, look, kids will be back on Monday. You know, we're just partying on the inside. What are you looking for in today's budget?
I don't know. We sort of lack, in the baking industry, we really lack trained bakers. Like the older generation have got all our knowledge. Yeah. So if we could get more training, and there's a key guy who's been the president of the Baking Association for a little while. He's really been, well, everyone has in the last 10 years been trying to push for more qualified bakers. So if we could get more people trained, it'd help us a lot, if we could get that done.
I suppose with Māori TV down to skeleton staff, you've probably noticed a lot of pies not being bought.
Yeah. So we're down easily 40-50%. But it's just been really strange, and you don't know where your business is coming from. So you had to change where you were going, change how you were doing deliveries. 80% of my customers, or even higher than that, 90% of my customers weren't even open. So there was a more condensing. So the service stations and the supermarkets were eating more pies, especially when McDonald's wasn't open. Yeah. There was a lot more consumption of pies over the 3 weeks, or just towards the last week before McDonald's opened. Yeah. I don't think people realise how much food McDonald's and your KFC and all those takeaway bars take food-wise. Mm. And I spoke to a couple of guys at Turners and Growers, and they had to send some stuff to the tip or give it away because it wasn't being used over those 3 weeks.
Absolutely. I noticed there was a lot of cooking going on at home, and I think the kids are used to, cooked eggs, cooked breakfast now. Any advice for other businesses who are in your predicament?
Just hold on, really. Like, just do everything you can to make your business a lot stronger. Yeah, because once you just need to come out of it, and hopefully, it just turns out better in the end. But pretty much adapt. You just got to adapt. Yep.
So how did you get into the pie business? I mean, I know Māori, we're naturally attracted to the old pie, but how about you?
Well, we were looking for a business. Well, I've been in the industry for 13 years. We had a function centre previously. But it was sort of just luck, really. Like, I don't know. I'm not a baker or a chef by trade. We just sort of ended up in it. We saw it was a good business to try and grow, so that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah. And you're nice and slim. So that's sending a good message that you got some healthy pies in there.
Yeah, no, just eat the insides. Just eat the insides, man.
So has COVID-19, this lockdown period, given you time to maybe dream up some new pies or other pies?
It's more done. It's sort of done the opposite. I've found the things that sell better, and I'm trying to push them more. So if you've got SKUs, for instance, so products, people don't know what SKUs are. If you've got a product line and say you've got 52, I've sort of condensed them a little bit more, and it's made my business a lot more efficient. Yeah, that'd be the biggest thing to come out of it.
Mm. So which pies have you had to cull so that we know that they're gone, essentially? And what are your best-selling pies?
So the best-selling ones are steak and cheese, mince and cheese, and then our chicken varieties go pretty well. And we've been pushing those more than anything else. And I'm finding more of the gourmet market. Well, a better quality pie, which is what we've sort of pushed in the last couple of years. I'm finding that's growing more than anything else. Okay.
And what's your secret to your pastry? Because that's where a lot of the taste is.
I'm very fortunate to have some staff who have had years and years in the industry, so they sort of do things the old way. And every time I try and change it a little bit, they sort of tell me off. So I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Got fantastic staff.
Nice. Hey, kia ora, Bosun Paki, for that, and good luck with your business.
Thank you.
Okay, we'd like to know what you think, so please let us know on our Facebook page or send us an email, tapatahi@maoritelevision.com. So stay tuned. Here's the news with Piata Melbourne.
Tēnā koe Billy Joe, kai nā kā rangatanga maha ngā mihi o te ata. Kua tīmata te taumata o hiti tuarua. Kua tuwhera te haere a motu mā runa wakarererangi me te whakatuwhera anō i te nuinga o ngā pakihi o Aotearoa. Kua tuwhera mai anō ngā wharekai, whare pikitia me ngā whare whakapakari tinana anō hoki. E oe kai raro i hotonu i ngā tikanga haumaru. Te kaunoi hōnā tāngata ka tae te haere ki ngā mārena, karakia, hui a whānau anō hoki engari kua piki ake te rahi o te hunga ka tae atu ki ngā tangihanga ki te rima te kau. Hei te wiki e tū mai nei ka hoki ngā tauira katoa ki te kura, hei te rua te kai mātahi ka tuwhera mai anō ngā pāpara kauta. Kua whakatangatanga hia e te kāwanatanga tāna here tangihanga te kau tāngata kia rima te kau i te taumata tuarua. Ka whai tēnei panonitanga i tētahi hui me ngā minita Māori, ngā rangatira aiwi anō hoki i matapaki hia e te matatika o ngā here. Ko te kaitū tohe i te pūtake o ngā urutomotanga whenua o tūhoi i te taurua mano mawhitu, ko tame eti tērā e wahāna i ona māharahara mō te pire hauora me te mana whakauhere ka riro i te huna pirihimana. Kua ko paua a pōia rewi ki te tūranga tumu whakarae o te mātāwai. Ko Ngāti Manawa tūhoi te arawa Ngāti Whare me tūwhare toa ona iwi. Ko ia te upoko o mua o te wāhanga Māori te whare wānanga o tākou. E mōhiotia whānuitia ana ia mō wāna mahi whakarauora i te reo mo te whai kōrero mo te rangahau anō hoki. Hei tā rewi ko tā te mahi nei he whai kia ukaipo anō te reo i ona kāinga. Kua whakae te kāwanatanga kia koke whakamua ngā hākina kina whaiutu, kai raro i ngā tikana haumaru. Ko ngā tākoro poi tarawhiti o te whakataetai katoa, ka tū ki roto o tāmaki makaurau mō ngā wiki te kau. I tautoko a poi tarawhiti Aotearoa i te whakaaro, kia kotahi te wāhi tākoro hei whakamāmāki te aronga ki ngā ture haumaru. Ka tū ngā tākoro mai te paraere ki te mane. Akāti, koera katoa nā kaupapa matua mō tēnei haora, ka hoki anō ki a koe Billy Joe.
Kia ora. Like others in the building industry, Jared Tua of Ngāpuhi and Tainui was left high and dry because of COVID-19. So what will today's budget announcements mean for his business? Wolf Projects Building Solutions. Jared is with me now. Kia ora, Jared.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
So how big is your company? How many staff, contractors do you have?
We have a total of 16 and growing, so yeah, definitely showing good signs of growth, so yeah.
So how did COVID-19 restrictions affect your business?
Obviously, a lot of our big sites shut down, so you know, productivity on our sites were slow, and we had some small financial losses, obviously due to us not being able to go back to work. Yeah, it's been a bit all hard and frustrating in that area, but I guess, you know, as our Prime Minister said, you know, stay home, save lives, so we were happy to follow the rules, and, you know, financials were put aside, yeah.
Did the wage subsidy help your business?
It did, it definitely did, especially, you know, we got a lot of young guys in our team and with young whānau, so you know the subsidy definitely helped us to, you know, keep afloat, but you know at the same time myself ensuring the guys, our team, that you know at some stage, you know, hopefully the lockdown does come to an end and we can return back to work, and you know that subsidy was enough just to keep us afloat until we got back to mahi. So we're really appreciative of all the people behind the scenes working around that part and helping us you know, get the subsidy and work us through all the steps. So it was really awesome. Yeah.
So tell me a bit of the history about your company. How did you start? When did you start it?
I was introduced to a guy named Mark Bedford who owns Bridge City Construction and Interiors. He was like a mentor. I started my apprenticeship through his company, and The way he sort of ran his company was giving young guys opportunity, and I wanted to be a league player, a professional league player, and then obviously that didn't work out. So I was introduced to Mark, and he sort of changed my whole career and whatnot. And fast forward now, it gave me the courage to start up my own company, and now I'm able to opportunity to young Māori rangatahi, so which I'm very fortunate enough to do.
And look, you're 28 years old, you hire 16 staff. I mean, mihi to you, fantastic. What do you hope this budget will bring for businesses like you?
Opportunity to give Kiwis, rangatahi Māori jobs, so I'm hoping not just in the construction industry, but other industries where we're offering opportunity to the ones who have lost jobs, tourism. I know there's just all businesses that have shut down due to COVID-19. So I'm hoping this budget helps businesses take on other people who have lost their job, or are able to mentor them towards opportunity to enter into other jobs.
Yeah. In terms of your industry, are you optimistic about the future?
I mean, there's always going to be whare to be erected or demolished, or offices to be refitted. I mean, it's an industry that I believe will never die out, even though the lockdown has restricted us for 4 weeks or whatnot. But the growth in the construction trade is just, I can't see it ending. There's always going to be something that we need to change structurally or interior. There's always, it's just a trade that will never die.
I mean, one of the hardest aspects about running your business and having employees is, making the call, maybe you will have to let some people go. Have you had to make that decision, or at least assess it?
I'm blessed enough to have not let any of my staff go. I'm actually hiring more tradies. Obviously the other companies have let their guys go, but I've been working strongly along Māori organisations, TPK, Te Puni Kōkini. We've worked together, working strategic moves to help continuing employing people through this lockdown, and so they've been a huge backbone for us. And I guess I have communicated to my staff through Zoom, Facebook, and just keeping them updated with with what the rest of Aotearoa is looking like. And okay, if it does happen to us, we can expect this to happen. But I'm blessed enough to not have got to that stage yet, and just pretty fortunate actually.
Yeah. So any learnings out of this? Anything that you may change in your business or maybe adopt because of COVID-19?
We have definitely introduced COVID-19. I think will always be with us from now, 10 years. So we've introduced it into our company with all the new rules. Obviously, the 2 meter rule in the building trade is it's really hard to do. So we've created a new bubble, a new mahi bubble. So for now, until things do slow down, I think you can't go past not having any of the COVID-19 rules in your company. Right down to the hand sanitizing, wiping down tools, changing your uniform, washing. I think that just has to be a new part of our kaupapa now. So in order for us to be able to tender for the jobs, I think companies would like to see us, or see companies really strongly pushing for that new COVID kaupapa now.
So you're pretty much like doctors now, really?
Yes. Well, I have family members that are nurses and doctors, so I'm actually trying to give them advice now. So, but you're right. We are in a sense. In order for us to keep our jobs and to keep working, we have to adapt to this crisis. So, and we are doing that because we do not want to go back to another lockdown. So, whatever our Prime Minister is issuing, we strongly are pushing those rules.
Yeah, you're in a fortunate position that you're actually looking for new staff. What advice can you give others in your industry or SME businesses like yourself?
I would say, look, there's a lot of organisations, especially within the government, that we have not been able to look at. And over the lockdown, it was a good time for networking, not just your client networking, but just networking with the government. We're seeing what are the needs and other areas that we just, for example, you wouldn't always go to McDonald's. If you're trying to lose weight and whatnot, you venture into the pita pits and the salad bowls. So I would say, like to the other tradies or companies out there, just maybe broaden your networking services and maybe not try and tend to go to what we generally always go to and look into avenues where it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Great advice. So what does level 2 mean for your company moving forward?
We've been working some minimal hours just to keep the contact with each other to real down. So now we get to move back into a 40-hour week. Our materials are real accessible now, so we're not we're not on a huge delay of waiting for materials and fixings and whatnot. So it's sort of turning back into going back to normal for us. And obviously our guys are a lot happy working 4-hour weeks now that they get to receive their full pay, help out with their whānau. So it's slowly going back into normal for us, and obviously with us keeping our rules in place and making sure that we are still following strict COVID rules, that we continue to work in a safe environment.
Well, ngā mihi, good luck, Jared Tua
Ngā mihi.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, unfortunately, Moana Jackson will not be joining us this morning as there has been a matinga in his whānau. Our condolences to him and his whānau, and we will have him on the show at a later date. A tourism relief package will be part of today's budget, which is welcome news to the industry. Pianika Boddington and her husband Luke are co-owners of Rafting New Zealand, a Turangi-based whitewater rafting company that celebrates its 30th birthday next year. Pianika says she intends to reach that milestone. She joins me now. Kia ora, Pianika.
Morena, Billy.
I like it. We've got to stay strong. We've got to think positive. So how do you when our numbers of tourists are going to drop?
Well, you've got to be positive to keep everything going. And if you believe it will work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it's not going to work out, you'll see obstacles. So we are pretty positive and optimistic with what the future entails, but obviously it's all in a known for us. So just being optimistic and positive.
Yeah, I mean, whitewater rafting, it's pretty chilly time. What was it like anyway for your business during winter?
Look, well, we do low numbers during this time, which is a positive to be going through COVID-19 during our off season. But we really need to keep driving it forward so that we can open back in our summertime and be ready for when the international borders open.
That's right. So how are you going to market to Kiwis, essentially?
Well, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate to be in Te Pukawatika, so Central North Island. We've got a vast population around us. So we're hoping Kiwis will get out and come back to Taupua, which used to be the region for domestic travel. And we like to say we're the Queenstown of the North Island.
Nice. And you're right, we're hearing more of that. People are wanting to see Aotearoa. Some, like my dad, hasn't even been up to Cape Reinga. More people will travel around Aotearoa. So why should they come to your business?
Well, we've got an amazing product, which Kiwis the domestic market, Kiwis used to travel 2 years ago, used to be our predominant market. So we're hoping now that with the borders closed and they can't go anywhere, that they're going to come back to us, which we're very hopeful for.
Yeah. You received $500,000 from the Provincial Growth Fund to train staff and grow your business. Has this been a godsend?
Aye.
And so how...
Yes, it has. We're very blessed. We've got another course running this year, so we're very lucky.
And how have you used those funds?
We spent basically all training. We trained and successfully qualified 10 guides. So that's why we need to keep driving our business forward, because we've got 10 people that we really want to employ over the summer season, and we need to stay open. I'm hopeful that the package is going to enable us to keep our employees on, to keep driving the business forward, so that we can still employ the people that we've trained.
So almost 1,000 Māori in tourism have lost their jobs, and it could take the industry 2 to 3 years to recover. What's your game plan if that's the case?
Gosh, I'm not too sure about that. We've just been positive. We've put a lot of work into preparation for the situation. Prior to the week of lockdown, we worked really, really hard developing budgets, A to G. Obviously, G being we're going to close our doors. And we're very blessed that we're not anywhere near that. And we're going to keep working hard.
No details have been released about the relief package for tourism, but what are you expecting in today's budget announcement?
Gosh, Billy, we're hoping that the wage subsidy gets extended for at least 3 months would be ideal. If that doesn't happen, we're hoping the government relief package might be in a way of returning our GST that we've paid for the last financial year. That would be extremely helpful. Yeah, it's a waiting game.
Are you in touch with other tourist, tourist business owners? Have you started a sort of a help group, a support network?
Look, New Zealand Māori Tourism has been my main platform for getting all of our information. They've been absolutely fabulous. We have started collaborating with like-minded operators. That I think is going to be a real positive outcome from COVID. And from those collaborations, we're able to work together in this unprecedented time.
That's right. And so any advice to other tourist businesses like yourself?
Planning. Yeah, you really need to plan. You really need to work hard during this time. Be positive, optimistic, work with your people. We've got a great team of staff that have been 100% behind us and working with us to survive. So it's really important your people are first and foremost.
Kia ora, Pianika Boddington. Thank you for your time.
Ngā mihi, ka kite.
Ka kite. We'd love to know your thoughts on today's program. Please post your feedback on our Facebook page or send us an email, tapatahi@māoritelevision.com. Stay with us. We're back after the break. Kia ora whānau. Ray is a rapper and an internationally successful musician who raps and sings in te reo Māori and just having fun with it. He's just released a new waiata called Rapeti and is about to release Hoia, his 4th album. When HARAWIRA spoke to Ray earlier.
Firstly, Ray, can you tell me about this new waiata, Rapeti?
Yeah, I wrote this song towards the end of last year. just a cheeky, fun kind of rap track. You know, my whole thing is for my te reo music is to keep it current and not try and worry too much about being too traditional about things. And so yeah, one of the things with rap music is to be a bit cheeky and a bit whakahihi sometimes. So yeah, there's a lot of that in the waiata. But yeah, ultimately I'm kind of comparing my relentless kind of chase of my full potential to the run of a rabbit. Like I'm running hard, e o mana ki te taumata, like I'm running to the top of the game, just like a rabbit. And yeah, what better way to describe that than you know, kind of interpolating that nursery rhyme o marapiti. Yeah.
Tell me about some of the themes in your new album called Hoia. What can you tell us?
Themes. Well, Hoia for me is about being in control of your own destiny. About, you know, Hoia tō waka. It's all about, you know, being your own rangatira, the rangatira of your future, and you know, peddling your own waka and choosing where you want to go and going for that. There's a lot of love songs, a few kind of more sexy songs on there, and yeah, there's quite reggaeton and hip hop and influences, which is cool, and a bit of Afrobeat kind of stuff in there also, because that's, you know, just what I'm listening to at the moment. It's cool with my te reo music, because a lot of the time when I'm writing my English music, I'm like thinking about it really strategically and like thinking where this song is going to fit. Like, is this going to be a pop song? Is this going to be like a reggae song or a hip hop song? Is it going to fit on this station or that station? But with my te reo music, I kind of just like use it as me being creative and me writing whatever I want to. So yeah, my te reo music is really freeing for me. So yeah.
A lot of people have trouble writing a sentence that makes sense in te reo Māori, and here you are writing rap in te reo Māori. How do you do that? How do you do that? Making kupu Māori rhyme, very difficult.
Obviously coming from a rap background, like rhyming is quite important for me. So like that leads the content a lot of the time. But also, yeah, I find it like a really fun challenge to try and do word plays and metaphors and similes in te reo Māori for my waiata Māori. It's especially hard since my mātauranga of reo Māori is not as, you know, high as my English. So it's like I don't have so much vocabulary to use and to work with. So that's challenging, but I like the challenge, because it also, like, every time I write he waiata hou I te reo Māori, like I learn a new word, or I learn a few kupu hou from the experience. So yeah, and maybe I'll make up a few words because I need some, because I'm rapping about things that haven't been rapped about before, you know.
What inspires you? What you've talked about rāpiti and inspiring the lyrics and how you're chasing the game, but what else inspires you?
I am inspired to encourage rangatahi to use reo Māori. Like, that is one of my big motivators for using te reo in my music, because, you know, I'm making young people's music. Like, that's my whole thing with my reo Māori music. I'm trying to, you know, keep it current for rangatahi. But yeah, so I guess that's a big motivation for me with my te reo music as well.
This is the first ever Music Month where New Zealanders have been in lockdown. How have you found it as an artist? Has it helped your creativity? What have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been finishing this Māori album for one, so it's been good. Like, I guess musicians and producers have had it pretty good for this lockdown, because like I've literally got everything I need in my, you know, my bedroom studio right here. I've got monitors, I can make songs. I borrowed the microphone from the studio so I could record. Yeah, so it's actually been pretty good for me, like, to actually be able to, you know, sit down and focus and write and finish songs, especially coming off my biggest summer, like, festival season ever. Like, I had a break in shows anyway at this time of year, so it, like, hasn't affected my live income too much anyway. So yeah, I was pretty lucky in that sense. And yeah, hopefully things will get back to normal soon, and we'll be able to tour and get on the road again pretty soon. But yeah, we just got to let this thing play its course and be safe about everything.
Some of your performances have been live streamed on social media. Do you prefer that or performing live in front of an audience?
Yeah, I did a live performance on the weekend. It was fun. Like, it did feel a bit like performing live, but you really can't beat that feeling of, you know, performing kanohi ki te kanohi, like actually seeing people's reactions, you know, in person. And like hearing the crowd is weird. Like once you finish a song on a live stream, you don't hear applause of "woo, go day." You don't hear none of that. It's just there's maybe just some clapping emojis and some heart emojis or something. It's like not quite the same. But it's cool though how people how this whole thing has forced us to, you know, use our Kiwi ingenuity and try and innovate and, you know, work out ways to keep connected.
Hey, all the best for the future. Thanks for joining us.
Kia ora for that.
Beautiful interview. Love his enthusiasm for te reo. Well, coming up on tomorrow's program, we'll be looking at what the budget delivered for Māori. We talked to Marissa Boudoir, the CEO of the Restaurant Association, Dan Walker from New Zealand Māori Tourism, and Ra Beasley, the owner-operator of Ikabowl. Māori Television will broadcast Tahua 2020 from 1:45pm to 4pm today. The bilingual news program will unpack the government's 2020 budget and what it means for Māori in light of COVID-19. Hosted by Shane Taurima, the program will include expert reaction from a panel of regional commentators, Chris Tooley, Te Puia Winiata and Jeff Milner. Other guests include Māori Development Minister Nanaya Mahuta, Finance expert Dr. Matthew Rosrich, business owners Paul Retimanu and Takurua Mutu. Te Matawai co-chair Mariana Selby, Ngā Aho Whakaari chair Anna Heda Higgins. Here's Ray's Waiata Rapiti Mā Te Wā.
E hara tēnei tō kāputi, pai ki ahau kati a te ki, whakarongo ki te ariki, E hara tēnei tō kāputi, pai ki ahau kati a te ki, e oma ana ki te taumata me ki, oma rapeti, oma, rapeti. Oma, rapeti. Oma, rapeti. Ki te tamata, E hara I te rukahu, e hara I te wharatai hara. E hara no te UK, e hara I te Amerikana. E hara au no wi kaore au I te takahi mana. Ka pā ana au ka ki mai koe au wahi yana. No te whenuahi, te wahi mahi hati, I muri mai pāti, I muri mai kāti, kei te hanga ahi, mā te rangatahi, ngāti ati whati, ki te kore koe I mohi o ki au pātai atu ki tō auntie. E hara tēnei tō kāputi, pai ki ahau kati a te ki, e oma ana ki te taumata me ki, oma rapeti, oma, rapeti. Rapeti, rapeti, oma ki te taumata, yeah. Hey, hoia, tō waka, roia, tō waha, toia au I tō paki waitara, hoia, mohi o ke koe kotahiro, te ahua waiaro. Mohi o ke koe kotahiro, te ahua me ki anō. E hara tēnei I te mahi takitahi, he oe nā te taki mano. He māngai noa I hoa hau, mo te whero, mo te pango. Tika tau, kaua e pātai mai, e hia te paheneti. He whakaro tamitanga tēnā, aha koa heeti. He paunamu, koe ato mara. He pai tēnei taha, Hoia, 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 tō waka. Roia, roia, tō waha. Hoia, i tō paki waitara. Hoia, 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 tō waka. Roia, roia, tō waha. Hoia, i tō paki waitara. Hoia, 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 hoia.